Marriage and friendships are very different things, aren't they? And when you think about it, when you get married, particularly if you are famous people, suddenly they expect you to get on with all their friends. You know, the sort of thing. And this has been really a problem when you consider for the former royal known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. He's had to adapt very quickly into what Meghan's life circle is. He gave up all of his friends, literally everybody, to, well, be free, apparently, to take part in the life that now he feels most comfortable, living out in California. All we see him doing, seemingly, is going out for bike rides, feeding chickens, and then, well, being used as a prop in Meghan Markle's latest endeavours, or indeed the so-called friends. And that is a revolving door of friends, right? Seemingly, they're fast friends that come through the door very quickly. And, you know, Jessica Mulrooney was the big cheese at that royal wedding, if you remember. Meghan couldn't really survive life without her. Then one misstep, and suddenly Jessica's tossed aside like yesterday's lettuce from the fridge. Not needed anymore. But the problem is, what happens if your husband doesn't necessarily get on, well, too well with, of course, yes, that's right. Yes, your husband, H, has, yeah, whatever, Fox, handsome Fox, that's your problem. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're in the middle of London. Isn't this nice? Can you just see these beautiful flowers and all this sort of stuff? It's just nice that actually it's looking in flourish because, of course, London, looking around it, chums, let me tell you, is not as busy as you would expect it to be at this time of year, August. I would have expected to see a lot more people, and theatre tickets are down. There's not many people visiting things. Now, of course, the Spain doctors will say it's rubbish, but you know what I mean. You can tell just by being on the buses, the undergrounds, they're empty. So where are the tourists? Have they been put off? One might suggest absolutely, particularly when you have ladies like Selina Scott, a very well respected broadcaster, saying she blames the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, for her phone literally being stolen in the very heart of Piccadilly by a gang. Not great press at all, is it? Absolutely. It's a little bit like this, you see. Cast your mind back to last September. I think around September time, yes. Harry and Meghan sat down with Jane Powley from CBS to talk all about the endeavours of social media and how difficult it was and all of that sort of stuff, you know, and it was absolutely valid because some of the stories that they didn't really touch on were horrific, because this is the modern world we live in now, where your children can be bullied online and you simply don't know about it. Of course that can happen. You know, in our day, you went to school, you told the teacher, etc. Now, everybody lives in a clouded world of social media and indeed online. Terrible thing. Now, that was their big incentive, but we've not really heard anything about that since, have we? No. And then it doesn't really help when Meghan decides to invite on this particular woman, Chrissy Teigen, who's apparently the big cheese of the next series of With Love As Ever, Meghan, whatever, right? Married to the musician John Legend, and that's really apparently the talent, you know, that's exactly how she's famous. But she has a history of negative social media posts, and that's not playing out too well. Naturally, people are offended, and rightly so. She's apologised, but this is the world we live in, right? You just can't think, oh, I'll sweep that under the carpet. It's there forever, ask Dawn French. Now, the problem is this. According to sources, you see, Chrissy Teigen isn't exactly Prince Harry's cup of tea. No. And again, I have to say allegedly. Now, they will all paint this as, no, they're one big happy family. But put yourself in Prince Harry's place, right? He's now meeting a succession of celebrities, and many might suggest of a lower calibre. He's been used to meeting the A-listers, you know, the big cheeses of this world. Royal premieres, big events. Everybody wanted to meet Harry. And the problem is, you see, that, well, Chrissy Teigen's no different. It's very useful for her to have a picture with a member of the royal family, whichever way you look at it. Now, the other side of the coin is really this, that obviously they're going to have to play happy families. But really, apparently, Harry has no beef with her. He just seemingly doesn't necessarily see eye to eye. And someone in their office pointed out this misdemeanor regarding Miss Teigen's social media posts, of which Harry takes very seriously. One suspects with Meghan, of course, even though he claimed she was the most trolled person on the planet for a while. Well, Harry does take it seriously. One suspects that Meghan sees this as a camera opportunity, and once the cameras have stopped rolling, well, 40 times 40, etc., well, it's parked away. As for Chrissy and Harry, it's going to be interesting exactly how they present this friendship to the world. if indeed Harry appears alongside her at all. Nothing is guaranteed right now. Things are, shall we say, ever evolving. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.